The gentleman from Tennessee seek recognition.
Strike the last word.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, sir. I joined with Mr. Sensenbrenner in commending the chairman on his running this committee tonight. It's been very difficult. It's been a long day, and we're a little bit tired. At least I am, and chairman's done a great job. But I totally disagree with Chairman Sensenbrenner in his summation of what we have before us. I think they are dead wrong in their opinion on the articles of impeachment. There are two articles. This is in no way stealing an election. If Donald Trump is removed from office, the election of 2016 is not nullified. Mike Pence will be the president, and that's no walk in the park. It's the same policies. Some of them may be even worse. Maybe a little bit better ethics and morals and a little bit more civility. But as far as policies, they'd be about the same. There's been a lot of discussion of what we've had here, but basically, this is an issue about abuse of power based on testimony of Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, Ambassador Yovanovitch, Ambassador Taylor, and Dr. Hill. These are four independent class acts, people we should all look to. I mean, we all talk about them as patriots. They are patriots, but they are career foreign service folk who have done great jobs for America, are nonpartisan, and they came forth out of a sense of duty to testify. And what they've testified to is what happened with Ukraine was wrong, that there was an abuse of power, and that's why they came forth. And to say that this whole process is corrupt is basically an affront to each of those four patriots who came forward, to those four career foreign service officials, those four people who are nonpartisan. They did a service to this country. The fact is, their facts are indisputed, that what happened was a favor, though, although I'd like to ask you for a favor, though, and then Mulvaney going out, get used to it, that's politics, that's what happened. And then we had Sondland say they were all in on it, and it was a requirement. And to get the military aid, you've got to have announce the investigation. There's nothing other than that. And we've been here the last few hours. They've used it as a campaign ad for Trump. Yeah, the market's up, all that kind of stuff. SNAP payments are being cut drastically, and poor people are going to be hurt. And they didn't benefit from the Trump tax scam. Bob Corker, who served in the Senate, said the two biggest mistakes he made when he was up here were voting for the tax scam, which he didn't call it that, and then voting for the budget that came afterwards, exploding the debt. And somebody on the other side talked about how we need to be up here and fighting the debt. They've exploded the debt. They have no traditional Republican philosophy whatsoever. The Kurds, sayonara. They've ruined us in the Middle East forever. Trump just sold them out for his friend in Turkey. And the Kurds were the hell with you. And we gave Syria to the Russians. And just yesterday, Trump met with Lavrov, the Russian ambassador. No report of what they talked about, except the White House said they talked about influence, not to have influence in the next election, that Trump told him, you shouldn't try to influence our next elections. Lavrov said, we didn't discuss the elections. That's not true. It's hard to figure out which one's lying. Neither one of them have a very good track record. So I hope we can get it finished today, pass these two articles, and do what's important to protect our democracy, support our oath, abide by our oath, support the Constitution, and support our national security, because all of which have been jeopardized by Donald J. Trump, by his self-dealing with Ukraine. I said earlier today that the president of Ukraine was an actor and a politician. I wasn't saying anything bad about him. A lot of actors are great. I love actors. I love politicians. I am a politician. But that's why he couldn't say that he was under any duress or any influence and that he felt like he was being pressured. He couldn't say that because he's in an inferior position. It's like a battered wife with her husband around who beat her up. He can't say to the police she can't say he beat me up because he's there, and when the police leave, he'll do it again. And so he was in a terrible position. I look forward to meeting him. I'm going to be in Ukraine in February. and I think he's going to do a wonderful job. And for some people over there that said Ukraine was the third worst in the world, it's like 120th in the rankings out of 180. Not good, but not the third worst. I yield back the balance of my time. God bless the United States of America.
Gentleman yields back. I think we also share those sentiments.